I must have turned it on and didn't know it. What'd you say?
I was like, "Hi guys," and then you're like, "Well, it's not on." I'm like,
turned it
on,
off.
and you turned it off. I'm like, "Duh."
I turned it off. Sorry.
Bless her Jesus.
Bless her Jesus.
Bless her Jesus.
Look at the wisteria starting in that tree.
She's been so bad.
How bad has she been?
She's been so bad. She's been down for a while.
I'm glad it's against the law, like a horse, and get a new one.
Ain't that the truth? Oh, did you see them goats lined up on the fence and they're just laying there in the sun?
I think I turned it off again and turned it back on.
You probably did because it's running on 12 seconds now. So
I know. What is wrong with
you know how
me?
to operate a phone video on the phone, I guess.
Hey, we're out and about, but we're not coming in contact with anybody.
Well,
we're out in the car.
We just left the house.
We just left the house. We're going riding around for a little bit. We will only be in contact. What? I don't know how other people get them and their husbands and their viewfinders.
Excuse me when I cough.
We end up coughing at the same time.
She just does everything I do.
Yeah. You the one that gave me this crap.
I didn't give you that.
Okay.
I was not the one that went to the doctor and got diagnosed with bronchitis, the croup, and then type B flu. That was not me.
Who gave me the germs, though? They saw when I was opening those presents and you were sitting up there coughing. They said then, oh, I was afraid you was going to get sick.
All I had was just a little bit of upper respiratory something going on. It was none of that bad stuff.
Well, with my autoimmune issues, I received it worse, but you gave it.
I don't believe that. You got it from the dadgum
I think I got it from the beauty shop.
Beauty shop. That's
when I took Mother to get her hair cut.
They spread more than gossip down there.
No, we were down there on Wednesday.
As a joke. I didn't mean nothing about that.
No, yeah, well, everybody knows beauty shops are supposedly gossip centers. Not the ones I go to. You gonna get gas here or down there?
Down
there.
I'm going down there.
When I took Mother to get her hair cut on that Wednesday, her beautician handed me her phone to look at something, picture something, and then she came down with the flu on Friday. Her and the other lady in there. Thank goodness all she did was cut Mother's hair. Mother didn't touch her phone or anything, because they say phones where the pastor and them are still there. We did a live stream today. It was really good. You can tell. Whew, I've already told some people I'm never going to take for granted the doors to the church being open again. Not that I have. I try not to, but I think it can become such commonplace. It's like, oh, okay, church is going on. It's the first time our church doors have ever been closed.
Well, like the pastor said, he didn't particularly care for them calling it social distancing because we're staying
social.
Yes.
Yeah, we are staying connected, and that's what he's encouraging everybody to stay connected. To stay in touch with each other and to check on each other, and he said that.
See, I'm going into the service station now, and I'm gonna choose the furthest pump.
Oh wait, well now, you got your hand sanitizer?
Well, no, we're in your vehicle, and
Dadgummit, John.
Well,
you need some because the gas pump.
Well, I got my keys. I got some in the office. I'll run, stop back by and get that.
Okay. Yeah, they're telling you to use it every time you use the gas pump. Yeah, yours is in your truck, and we didn't put. I hadn't been going anywhere, so
I keep it in my truck.
Every time he goes to go
somewhere. I went to Dollar Tree and found some before it got so bad.
Yeah, and he's been going to the grocery store so much, so he.
That's what's happening.
He has been keeping it in his truck because he's been going to the grocery store. I feel like my videos are just really boring, that I'm coughing and we're talking about the coronavirus, but y'all are like, oh, I want to see you. And I know I've been watching, trying to find all my people that I relate to. So I know my button kept getting turned off up there. So, yeah, they're telling you to clean your hands after the gas pumps, but we're right here close to his office, so we'll go get some. I did put on a tiny bit of foundation, and that was it. We are just going to go riding around for a little while, and it's 70% chance of rain, so that may be coming in this afternoon, but right now the sun is shining. Here's our walking track over here, and there's people getting bicycles off and riding it, and we have a rail trail in our town, and it's pretty neat. I am fixing to get my honey down here. I don't feel comfortable walking all the rail trail because it goes into some very secluded areas, but there's a large stretch of it that goes right here by the golf course, and that goes by subdivision. But once you get to that, past that subdivision, you go through the woods, and so I wouldn't walk that by myself. But what I can walk back and forth. I've got to get out and get my lungs opened up more. My lungs are still very, very congested. So anyway, y'all tired of hearing about my coughing, about me being sick? And I know we're sick of hearing about the coronavirus. I believe our country is really working together, because my heart has been so heavy for Italy. Oh my gosh. Almost 800 people yesterday. Y'all pray for Italy. That is, and I mean like 472 the day before, and I think 300 or 400 the day before. So those people are hurting. If any of you watch this in Italy, just know that we are praying for you. Praying for you. I have a friend on Facebook that I need to check on. I met her in New York years ago, and she's in Italy, and we're on Facebook together, and I need to check on her. But just stay in. People are enjoying their families. Pastor said this morning that he believes God's going to use this time for us to get to a place where we need to be spiritually, to be dependent on God, and that there's going to be great revival and see a lot of souls saved from this. And that's what I'm banking on. Yeah, don't touch me.
Running off.
Don't touch me. Don't breathe.
Don't work.
Don't breathe.
Don't work.
Don't breathe till we get to the office, okay? Just sit there and hold your breath. Just don't touch me.
I'm not no scuba diver.
I know. Well, the golf course. I guess you can social distance the golf course, can't you?
You can, and I think they're also letting you eat outside at the outside tables. I guess they got them set up enough distance there that. Would you not cough, please?
I would love to not cough.
I would love for you not to cough.
Oh, please. You've been coughing for 2 or 3 weeks, too.
Oh, my gosh.
You
I thought I was
started
sleeping
it.
with a seal last night.
That is not funny.
I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was at the wharf.
At the wharf. I wish we could. No, we don't want to be in San
We don't want to be at the wharf.
We don't want to be in San Francisco right now. There's too much going on there right now.
I am at work this quick. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
I mean, we're like so close to everything.
Go get hand sanitizer.
I am.
Oh my gosh.
I'm actually going to wash in the sink while I'm in there.
Yeah, do that. Scrub your hands good. Oh my goodness. I'm just coming on here just to make face-to-face contact with y'all, because what can we talk about besides what we're going through? But some of my younger friends, some of Ashley's friends have said, gosh, we've enjoyed our kids the last few days, because this makes you want to pull together and love on each other and, tell your family how much you love them. If you've got things in your life that's not right, you need to get them right. If there's people that you're mad at, it's really not worth it. You just need to make things right with people. This has showed us See, we've never been shown anything like this. My mother and daddy went through the Great Depression, which my mom's 93 today, and one of my nephews is going up. But my mother and daddy lived through the Great Depression. They almost starved to death. They know what hard times are. We've not known hard times in a long, long time. My mother said that it appeared they had more food than what my daddy and them talked about having. Because she said they'd always have dried beans and enough stuff to make cornbread. That's lots of times that's all they'd have is dried beans and cornbread. Lord, those I ate yesterday were delicious. But my daddy told of going behind farmers and all that had already cut turnip greens and collards and stuff out of the ground. And you know they didn't waste any. And he talked about seeing where they were and going and digging up the stalks up out of the ground and eating them. He was so hungry. That's the reason it was one of his greatest pleasures in life, was to feed us. So
it took me a little longer. I washed an extra 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, here you go. Got that Dollar Tree.
Cucumber melon. Is that my purse? So, I was telling them, you know, this is the first time that we've ever felt like total control's been taken away from the U.S. Isn't it? You know, in our lifetime.
Oh yeah.
I was telling them, Mother said in the Great Depression that they always had beans and cornbread. Most of the time, that's all they had. She said sometimes they'd have potatoes to go with it and stuff. But she said Daddy and them were poor. And Daddy, I think I've told you this before, that Daddy told of after people cut collards and turnip greens and all that, which you know they left no waste behind whatsoever. Hold up. That Daddy would go dig the stalk out of the ground. If there was anything left down in the ground, and eat it. And that's just heartbreaking to me. You just don't know what that kind of stuff does to people. My daddy had a lot of issues, and sometimes you just wonder the things they went through.
Well, now of course I won't tell you everything he said, but I worked with a guy, we called him Grandpa, and this was back when the Judge was very popular. His name was James Bell, and we all called him Grandpa. He looked like Grandpa off the Monsters. Anyway, that's when the Judds were very popular. And
tell us about the good old days.
Yeah, tell us about the good old days. And I asked him, I said, Grandpa, tell us about the good old days. And he said, we called them rough back then. He said, you ate weevil peas and cornbread for breakfast.
Weevil? Weevil?
If you were lucky.
What's a weevil pea?
Weevil peas.
Weevil.
I actually think what he was talking about.
Bad peas?
Peas full of weevils.
Wow.
You ate that for breakfast if you was lucky. That's what he called them. I don't know if that's a particular brand of peas, but I've heard of weevils getting in your peas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the weevils will. So he said they ate weevil peas and
cornbread for breakfast if you were lucky.
So that might have been the only meal you had.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, he told that for the truth.
So Mother and them, she said they had a cow. And all of the animals were just free ranging. They just walked around the communities. Nobody had money for pastures. And that old cow would just walk around. But she said that my Mama Rogers would get out and call that cow, and she'd come home and she'd milk her. Then she'd take off again, wander around through the community. That is just hilarious to me. I need to get Mother.
Makes you think of Otis when he come into town drunk with a cow, doesn't he?
You know, I'm not an Andy Griffith fan.
It's an American.
I know I'm an American. What can I say?
Otis come into town with him a milk cow.
I'm probably the only Southern girl that has not watched every episode of Andy Griffith. I have watched some, but I'm just not a big Andy Griffith fam. They got on my nerves. And of course, if you say that, that's like blasphemy around
It
here.
really is. I mean,
Well, I watched MASH. I can tell you every episode of MASH and Friends, and I don't know. Oh, they're doing curbside there. Oh, they're staying open today too. Yeah, they're going to be open every day.
well, that's good.
For food. That's one of our barbecue places.
Yeah, we're looking at, we're going to get out right around, then we're going to do curbside with Mexican.
We have not had Mexican in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks? No, 3 weeks.
So,
3 weeks.
get us a
So
little Mexican.
I haven't been anywhere. And John and Ashley and them don't want me to go nowhere either, because I'm just still too compromised.
Well, people look at you when she's coughing.
I haven't been around anybody for them to even look at me.
They would, though.
Oh, they probably would.
They'd be like looking at you like you.
Well, and I haven't said on here, but we have 3 cases in our hometown. 2 of them are church members. So one young man, him and his wife went to Italy right before it hit for their honeymoon. So they got out right before President Trump. They were there like a 2-week honeymoon or week and a half. So they self-quarantined as soon as they got home. They've been quarantined for 14 days. And I guess that they decided before they came out of quarantine they would go get tested. And when they went and got tested, he tested positive. Which shows how long, but he has no symptoms. Which shows how long it can take for it to show up.
And it can just lay dormant.
Well, they say only about 6 hours on a surface,
What?
the germ.
No, I'm talking about
Dormant in your body.
Yeah.
Well, and I think some people are carriers and not necessarily sick with it. So, but we have 2 church members. So we know we won't even be open before April the 6th again, and maybe doing good to open back by then. But they had a praise and worship team today, and pastor preached, and they did Facebook and YouTube, and I posted it on our Let Our Light Shine page, and y'all can go back and view it.
Wisteria there.
Was there wisteria back there?
Oh.
Do y'all know what wisteria is? It is a vine. It's very invasive. It'll kill a tree, but it hangs like clusters of grapes. Is it only lavender color?
No, they got white.
Oh, white and purple.
White and purple's the 2
Yeah.
colors.
And it smells like, oh my gosh, it does smell like heaven. It smells like heaven. I'll try to catch that. That's coming out of when you come out of our road, it's across the road there. I just thank God for the sunshine, and we're praying for this virus to be stopped, as well as I know you are. And let me just say this. If any of you watch this and you have COVID-19, let us know so that we can be calling your name out in prayer. One woman, her son lives close to where we do. She lives over in another town. She had been to Europe, and she came home before really everything hit. And she had been to Walmart. She had been to Hobby Lobby. Well, she ended up testing positive. She's got sick. She's had death threats. Death threats. Telling her that she had no idea. It's been out there so much longer. And there's probably, if I hadn't been tested for the flu, I would have felt like I needed to be tested, as sick as I was. But you don't test positive for the flu. If you have all those, it is the same symptoms, but your flu test will come back negative.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Yes. That's the big sign when you go into a doctor and you've got fever and you're coughing and all this, just like I've been doing, and they test you and you're negative for the flu. That's when you need the COVID-19 test.
Gotcha.
But mine tested positive, so I just told them I was the lucky one who had all the symptoms and felt like I was dying when it came out. No panic in my life at all during that time. Oh man, yeah. A lot of people have made comments, John, that they're glad to see that I'm a little afraid of it, that I'm concerned, because they felt like as a Christian they shouldn't have any fear. And he tells us not to live in fear. But there's a certain amount of fear. Bobcat comes out of the woods. That's healthy fear, is it not? Get away from there. And that's the way we are to protect ourselves. Oh, please.
Yes.
A bobcat would tear you up. Yeah. You not.
Different story.
Now, when I married you 22 years ago and you were so buffed and worked out at the gym about 4 nights a week and you had guns about this big, maybe then. He did. But
guns, it was cannons.
Cannons. But 22 years later.
Watch it now. Let's don't be squeezing the Sherman there.
Well, honey, you can squeeze all over me. I'm fluffy all over. John was, oh my gosh, he worked out at the gym. I
actually didn't work out. I done cardio. So, I mean, I didn't weight train or nothing.
Well, how'd your arms get so
tight? It was just natural. I mean, seriously. But I just did cardio. I did very little when it comes to weights, because I was actually trying to lose weight instead of
building up.
Yeah.
One of my first remembrances of John when I went to the college is you lost a lot of weight. We worked on the same hallway, but I didn't know hardly anybody. And even though he and I were raised, less than 10 miles apart. So, well, we're 6 years difference in age.
It was two different worlds.
It was 2 different worlds. Totally 2 different worlds. Totally. You know, I'm over here in the church body and they weren't. It was just traveled in different circles.
I'm out
big, he was worldly. But I mean, they were big campers and fishers and all that, and we didn't do any of that stuff. So, but I had never even heard of him, never knew him, never heard of him, nothing. But I can remember him losing a lot of weight, and I remember going down the hall. I had to go by his desk to go to the business office, and I remember seeing a sign on the front of his desk one time, and I remember going back by there, and it said, "Do not feed the bear." Is that when you was losing all the weight?
Yeah, I was losing some weight.
And they had put "Do not feed the bear" on there. So that's just one of my very first memories of you.
I took a paper plate and took a spoon and fork and put it in a cross and drawed it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
that was
put it on there, "Do not feed the bear."
But to me, he was just a young kid then. He was a lot younger than me, and I was a lot younger. Well, I wasn't. Well, 6 years older than you regardless, but that was a long time ago.
Long
time ago. Matter of fact, I was
Makes me think of a Don McLean song.
Long time ago. I used to love that song, American Pie. Oh, gotta tell y'all this. You know, Kenny Rogers passed away. Kenny Rogers, to me, now John, please don't get your feelings hurt, because I've said this forever. Kenny Rogers, to me, before plastic surgery, was the prettiest man I've ever laid eyes on. Are you hurt? Okay. Prettiest man I've ever laid eyes on. And that voice. That croak.
That was a sneeze, y'all.
I tried for 3 or 4 years to get pregnant with Ashley. And I finally got pregnant, and I was 5 months pregnant. Went to see Kenny Rogers' concert and stood up in a chair and took pictures of him as he came down my aisle. But his plastic surgery, bad plastic surgery. But he passed away, 81 years old. Now this is funny, no matter, this is not disrespect at all. This is dadgum funny. My niece sent me a thing a while ago. It said, what did it say? Kenny Rogers dipped out. Well, it's on the phone. Kenny Rogers dipped out during the apocalypse. He definitely knew when to fold them. Something like that.
Yeah.
That was funny. Not as funny as because I messed it up, but anyway, I did not know that he had recorded a gospel album, but he did, and I downloaded it. We're gonna fix listen to it.
Wow.
got Just a Little Talk. No, it's got What a Friend We Have in Jesus. It's got I'll Fly Away. Will the Circle Be Unbroken? It's just hymns, and then there's a real good song on there too that I think that he might have actually released. But anyway, I didn't know that he ever released a gospel thing. But I downloaded it and want to listen to some of it. So, but we're out. Not near as much traffic on the road. There's some.
Pretty desolate.
Pretty desolate for the Sunday, yeah. But we're just gonna ride. We're not gonna come in contact with anybody. I just need some sunshine and to get out. And thank goodness for the sunshine. If you've tested positive and you want us to pray for you, either put it on Let Your Light Shine page or put a comment below, and I will start a list. I have a prayer journal, and I've told y'all this before, but when you request prayer on a comment under one of my videos, I screenshot it right then. And what I do then is when I go and I sit down with my journal later, I transfer the screenshot information over into my journal. So I have a whole section on YouTube prayers. So don't think, I can't, I've said before, I can't intently pray for everyone all the time, but y'all are covered in prayer a lot through me, and y'all pray for each other on Let Your Light Shine. That's what's so beautiful, is that you pray for each other. So that's John's brother says that's a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing. So I'm hoping that John gets to go to the river before they close the state park and do some fishing this week. I really hope he can. Depends on what the college situation looks like. But just hunker down, folks. Enjoy your time. Ann Santos is a good friend of mine from California that's been with my channel for a long, long time. And she asked everybody, what are y'all doing? And I said, we've been cooking and eating, coughing, but reading.
I cut grass.
Cut grass.
I
Fertilized the yard.
I mopped the house.
Have you been praying?
I have been praying.
Good. We need to all be praying. But when you're out cutting grass, we watched church service today, reading our Bibles, meditating. Meditating's important. That's just when you think on the goodness and you sit. That's what I've done a lot the last few weeks, is that porch has just been like a refuge to me, because it helped me to breathe better. Of course, all the pollen's out there now, but still.
I cleaned the porch.
You did clean the porch. But to sit out there and to meditate on God and who He is to you and what He means to you. Meditation is not, I know they use meditation in yoga, but there's meditation where you meditate on God too. And just to sit, and sometimes you just meditate and think about Him and to just talk to Him, and just, you can just sit there and say, because our Pastor Jamie had taught us that meditation is so important. Like I told you yesterday, Psalms 46:10 says, be still and know that I am God. That's above our living room windows. That's the reason I don't know what we're going to do when we paint our living room this year. I want that back up there, but I doubt we'll ever find the stencil again. Be still and know that I am God. You got any words of advice you want to say? I always put you on the spot, don't I?
Yeah, she always does that. I just say, my words of advice are, we are covered, and do not fear. I'm not going to let this bring me down and live in fear. I'm going to persevere and get through it. So,
but we've been being prepared.
Oh yeah, you got to be prepared.
He's been buying extra groceries.
I've not been hoarding.
No, not hoarding at all. We just don't buy a lot of groceries because we eat out. And then a lot of times he eats a real good lunch, and we just eat smaller things at night. So we don't buy a ton of groceries. And so what we're doing, he's been buying pastas and sauces and dried beans, rice.
Just buying like a couple bags. If I go to the store and they got beans on the shelf, I'll buy a couple bags or buy a box of mac and cheese or something. Just to kind of keep something coming in. We've already been cooking what we've been buying.
We've cooked all week long.
So it's not going wasting. And really, I've not bought, other than what we use regularly, perishable stuff, you know.
We bought a few extra rolls of toilet paper. We've not gone crazy with that, but the reason I'm doing that is to make sure that Mother's got toilet paper. And then Ashley, with a family of 5, I sent some extra home with her. And so, but as far as going in there and wiping the shelves off, we're not doing it. He's not doing that.
No, I went in the other day and I bought 2 packages, and I mean, I could have filled a buggy up, but I didn't do that. I just feel like
it's not right. Trust in the Lord, and just got to use good common sense. I love you guys. I appreciate you, you know, being there and wanting to hear from us. It's kind of hard with this going on not to talk about it, isn't it? But I was telling y'all, I have a girlfriend chat that we keep going all the time, and we send funny stuff to each other. We send prayer requests. We just, anything you can imagine carries on conversations. But one of my friends said, I've just had the TV off all day, and it's made a huge difference in me. Just to keep the TV off and quit sitting and watching all of it. And I agree. There's a couple days I hadn't even turned mine on during the day. So you can max out watching it to where you just have to pull back and say, God. And I'm telling you, just take those scriptures and read them. And, you know, do some things that you don't normally get to do. People are cleaning their houses, and we need to get in the basement this week, don't we? Get my office cleaned out down there. And I've been washing up all the blankets and stuff where I've laid under them while I was sick. And John took all the furniture out of the living room yesterday and mopped the floors. And people are cleaning.
That I could tote out of the house and set it on the porch.
Let it air out some of the furniture.
I cleaned and mopped.
And I washed several loads.
Mama love.
Yeah.
I cleaned the floors.
I washed several loads of clothes yesterday. So, you know, use it as time to get caught up, and family time and all that. So, but anyway, guys, we're just riding over toward Birmingham. Just going to look around. There's a real pretty subdivision we like. We're going to ride over there and just look at, not go in the houses, just ride through and look, and then go pick up something to eat. But
I figure it'll probably be crowded, but I'd love to, but of course Suzanne's probably not up to it. There's a place over here we're going called Moss Rock. There's a waterfall down there.
Yeah.
It's about a mile off in the woods, I think.
Yeah, I'm not up to walking it right now.
But I'd love to go down there.
Me too.
That's my meditation time.
Yeah.
Walk my trails.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll be back. Let us know if there's anything you want us to do.
Come on, baby. Let's do the
It might be time for another question and answer with us. You put me on the spot last time.
Who did?
You did.
Who on the spot?
Well, the last question and answer when you didn't remember the special time.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all, if there's anything you want us to do, if you got any questions that you want to ask, just leave it in the comments below. And I hope y'all have a beautiful Sunday. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. God be with you.